Andrea, I have to say, this is my first time back in this room, in this area, in 5 years, I think, 6 years. I think it was your first week working at Hyundai that I was in here. And my goodness me, what a transformation in 5 or 6 years. You know, customer cars all around us.
Yeah.
Quite some effort to get here.
It was. It has been quite a transformation. And as you said, I arrived here on the 1st of December 15. And the very same day, Andrew Jones, now the chief of customer racing, let me say, started with me. And basically we were free. And here we could have done a nice football match. And time has passed by with hard work, hard commitment of my people. Now in customer racing, you can see around about between engineers, mechanic, production, purchase, workshop, and especially the store, we are around 70. It's a big number. We have our own test track, the spare trucks for TCR and 5. It's an organization that has grown hardly and fast aside WRC that you have seen.
Stefano, I have to say, it's lovely to meet you this morning. You are the man responsible for the design of the Hyundai World Rally Car. We know that there's obviously really quite tight guidelines that you work to in terms of the FIA requirements for a World Rally Car. Where can you put your greatest input in terms of finding that competitive advantage? What areas as a designer do you actually get excited about with the car in terms of finding that little bit extra?
Well, there are not really specific area because every single area of the car is really pivotal point for the car design purpose. At the end, it's to be able to find the perfect synchronize between each area that give you the performance. Of course, there are targets that we have to set, but we have so many details that have to work together perfectly, and this give you performance. It's not really one area that it's overall all of them, but you have to work on geometry, mass, where you put the masses, and now with the new car, aero influence is very high. So you need to see which items give you more performance, and you have to work in this direction, and you might have to sacrifice other area to get best benefit. The car needs to be lightest as possible, because you need to run underweight and ballasting where you want to have it for car's performance. And it needs to be reliable. You need to finish the rally to win, first of all. And so finding this tune, it's a non-stopping job, because once you find a good reliability, then the drivers can push more and they find a new limit. So it's always a continuous feedback loop to try to improve it.
Tell us a little bit about this engine behind us, Julien, because it's looking at it, it's really, it's almost like a piece of art. It really does look that beautiful, doesn't it, when it sits there like that?
It is. No, I think we are all really proud of our engine. It looks nice. Well, this one is new actually, so it looks even nicer. But it's a full prototype engine. I mean, there is no part at all from road car or whatever. It has been developed for the purpose of WRC. It's completely designed, assembled, tested, disassembled. All the life is done here.
And in terms of developments, you know, we talked to the engineers about aero developments, and you can play around with aero a little bit. It's not an absolute science in terms of rally cars in particular. It is when you look at circuit cars, but aerodynamics with rally cars, there's quite a bit of interpretation there. What about the engines? You know, in terms of the scope for you to develop those engines to I suppose make them more reliable, maybe a little more powerful. Is there much there for you to work on?
Yeah, first of all, on the engine side, we are quite lucky because every engine is tested after on the dyno. So it's not like our chassis colleagues, they have to make some interpretation. We have the dyno, we have numbers, we know if it's better or not. So this is a big advantage. After we have, of course, a feeling of the driver and so on, but we have numbers. Makes our job easier to conclude. We still have room for development. The engine is on a continuous development process. Since the beginning, this engine has been introduced first time back in 2017, so it starts to be quite an old engine. but we are always trying to push to the limits within the regulations, of course, and bringing some new parts that we assemble here and then we test on dyno first. Then we do endurance on the car itself, because we can see some effects that are different from dyno to the car. And yeah, we manage to push as much mileage as we can, and when we see an issue somewhere, we try to fix it and to sort it out before we homologate it.
Julian, we're in the dyno room. It's a massive structure within a structure here just to test the engine. There's so much going on. Can you try and explain to us how this works?
So today the guys are doing a development test. They are trying new parts to see whether they perform better or not. Today is purely performance dedicated, not reliability. So they are trying some parts, they do power runs, they change the parts, do other power runs just to see what is the game or not.
So you can change the parts. Can you replicate conditions in terms of the conditions that the engines will face with heat, with climate, with pressure? Can you do all of that?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want, and on the other dyno we can even replicate stages. Yeah.
So every engine that you build, we've already seen where you build the engines, they come in here and they're tested. How many kilometers would an engine do the equivalent of in a dyno?
It really depends on the test. Some engines they stay half a day, and others they stay weeks.
Wow.
It's really
Why would
depends.
they stay weeks?
Because we are more in the reliability process, or when we do mapping, sometimes it takes a bit longer.
Andrew, we know when Hyundai came back into the championship, the World Rally Championship, the focus was pretty much solely on the World Rally team, but that's evolved over the past 4 or 5 years. There's now a thriving customer racing department. You're the man that heads that up. You kind of wear two hats. You've got TCR cars here, you've got R5 cars there.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about your job and what you do.
So my job is one of those where no 2 days are the same. The job since December the 1st, 2015, when I joined, has changed a lot. The initial remit was to set up a department along with Andrea Adamo. What you see here now was just a complete barren space, completely open with one R5 body shell. Prototype body shell on axle stands ready to be built up. So fast forward 4.5 years now, we have not only R5 but also TCR project. We have 2 different models of car currently, and we have further plans to expand that even further. So at the moment, yes, very, very, very busy department. I think, strange to the outside world, those people that have only known Hyundai Motorsport as being a rally team. But if you look at the wider picture about the cars that Hyundai are producing, the outside world, you have what they call the N line or N brand now, which features as its first car the i30N, which is where we started our TCR project with. So to us it's quite normal to have a rally car and a race car together because it fits with the overall aims of the brand.
How does it work, Andrew, practically? We know that clearly with the R5 program there is a factory R5 team effectively, but mainly it's about customers and people buying cars. If I had some money, which I don't do, if I had some money, could I buy this car that's behind us and drive away in it?
Sure, yeah, literally anybody could walk through the door, and if they've got the money and they want to go rallying or racing, then we can help them, yeah.
And then it's about selling the car, and then I suppose it's about the service package.
Yeah. One thing we pride ourselves on is that basically, you mentioned there about the works team in WRC2, but for me and for Andrea Adamo, that team is the same as any other customer team in terms of the level of support and attention and care they get from us.
Where'd you go from here? You've gone from an empty football pitch to this enormously impressive setup. What is the next step for customer racing in Hyundai?
New cars. New cars because, let me say, you have customers, you have to give them every time a better product. And so for me, taking the experience of customers and let them feel part of Hyundai and show them that we are pushing hard, I think is the best way. And of course, when we sit with my people, we always discuss where we have to improve. Because it's not the customer racing, you know, it's not part only to sell competitive cars. It's to support them, have spares available, engineers available, speak with them, listen to them, keep them in the business. This is something that I think is important and is where I want to constantly improve.
Andrea, it's been fascinating today. It's been great to come back after so many years and to see what you're doing here. Thank you for your time.
Not
as
so
always.
many, come on, you've made me
Lots of
feel
years, yeah.
old, no? So, quite many. let me
I've
say.
got less hair, so have you, than the last time we were
No,
here.
the problem is that I have already few, now they are even whiter, so great. Let me say.
Distinguished, shall we say.
Let me say.
Andrea Adamo, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you to you for coming and sharing this moment together.